Good morning. I got to straighten up the camera here a little bit. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How the hell are you? Turn over this way. It's a little bit like that. All right. There we go. I got to take that off. Can't hear myself. Well, I'm up this morning, and it's not really this morning anymore. It's, well, it is for another 21 minutes. Anyway, got up, went out, checked mail, perusing the internet, and I don't see anybody up from the coin community doing anything anyway. So I thought I would maybe come up and talk about some things. Does anybody know anything about collectible Canadian nickels and small pennies? I have a bunch of beaver nickels. These are all beaver nickels. Another pile, see? Another pile. These are all just 60s, 70s, 80s there. I got more nickels there. I got, let's see. I already went through the pennies, but we had pennies. Pennies. These are maple pennies. There are some Indian heads, if anybody wants Indian heads. And then I got this critter here. This is also full of nickels. These are in rolls, so I don't know how he's got them. Well, a lot of them in 2x2s, but there's a lot of rolls in there. It's a lot of shit for me to go through. And I know he's trying to sell them, but let's see, he's got two 1971 Centennial, 1871 and 1971. These are 50%ers, so I got to look in my stack and see if I got those or not. But got to go through all these nickels to see if there's anything in there that's collectible. I probably get one from every year, but I'm looking for special ones like the 1944 V nickel from Canada, the 1926. God dang, man. These baby food jars don't work with this shit. The 1926 beaver nickels. There's some other special ones in there. I gotta look and see. I'm gonna take a look at my little inventory sheets there and see if I got I don't know if I gotta look at my nickels, but anniversary commemorative coin, that's what I'm looking for right there. 1867, 1967. These are 1871. So I gotta look for a different one here. Those are under there. All right, so I gotta look for the beaver nickels here first. See if I find that other coins. No. Those are the mint sets and holders and stuff. Paper currency. That's the small nickels. Beaver nickels. Large pennies, beaver nickels right there. And I got small pen. There's small pennies right there. Small pennies, beaver nickels. So I got to go through all these for that. That's the small pennies. I have some really decent small pennies, but I don't have a whole lot of them. I don't have every year the beaver nickel. I'll get every year from most every year from this stash of them here. But the one thing I was going to look for was the that 1871 commemorative, and I don't know if I got them in here or not. I sure look. I may buy one of these. I don't know. I thought I had these. Huh. Well, I got a lot of them. I don't know if I got that one. Thought I did, but huh. I got a lot of them. Oh, those are slabs. Sets. Huh. 74 to 94, or 1874, 1974. The Winnipeg 100. Let's see what these are anyway. I think these are the same. And they're in this clamshell, so I know these are 50%. Ooh. Comes out of the holder really well. I can see why they put it in a bag, because nobody knows how to put them back in the holder the right way. This is the British Columbia, 1871 and 1971. British Columbia dollar. And all it says on it is silver. All right. There it is. Yeah, it's silver. See, there's a magnet rolling across it. So it's silver, but I don't know how much silver. I think these are 50%, if I'm not mistaken. There. I can show you them closer. God, man, it is really hard to do this. He's got two of them in there, so I'll probably buy one. If I don't have it, I got to do a little bit more looking here, but let me see if this one is the same as that one. I think it is, but yep, that's the British Columbia. So he's got two of those. I believe I have one, but I don't know for sure. So I got to look. 1871, 1971 Centennial. And I don't know really where he got those, because he doesn't collect Canadians like I do. But I would say they came at an auction someplace. And those are slabs. I'm going to say I got one, but I had to. Boy, I don't know. Wow, man. I got a lot of them, but it doesn't look like I do. I don't have it written down anyway. Privies, bells. Huh, I don't know. I have to look at that a little bit harder. Either that or I'm gonna have to go out looking and see on the other. I know where they would be at if I got them. So, all right, so we got those. There's I got to go out and get some penny rolls too. I just bought a couple more penny rolls. I've been taking chances on pennies, and I would like to get a couple rolls of 2025s, whichever mint they're made at. A couple rolls from each mint, just to have the last year of the pennies. But I've been taking chances on pennies. I bought a few here for the last few months. I'm not a big penny guy, United States penny guy, but I decided to buy some just for shits and giggles. Just taking a chance. Maybe they'll be worth something in the future. I don't know. I am not going to be reaping the benefit. That'll be my daughters who do that. So we got one package here. It says MS on the return label. And it's Texas, so my guess is Mad Stacker, but I don't know that for a fact. Let's see if I can get this thing opened up. Get it opened up. It's a big fat package. Fat. I don't know what I got in there, but I'm pretty sure it's I'm going to say it's a Canadian coin that I didn't have. I'm just thinking, but I really gotta. Yeah, there we go. Man, there's some tape on that thing. There we go. All right, we got the tape off. Now we just have the package to open. So we're gonna stick that under there like that. Oh, that's why it's taped like that. Because they reuse packages also. One coin. I will, yeah, it's mad. I will just adjust the camera here a little bit. We'll adjust the camera here a little bit. And maybe move this out of the way. We'll put that over there. Hey, Scratch, how are you, buddy? Maybe you don't want to see these nickels either. I got plenty of Canadian nickels to go through here in the next few days. A couple Canadian dollars. It's not a big deal. I'll throw them out of the way. Yes, this would be from Mad Stacker because I now have a little Jesus that can go up on my stage. Everybody needs a little Jesus, right? And then he always sends these bands, which are kind of neat. He came, he died, he rose, he ascended, and he's coming back. I give these to my wife. She's the Shiite Catholic in the family. I'll keep the little Jesus. I will keep him up on my stage. Everybody needs little Jesus. And we'll keep him up there. But I got my band and my little Jesus. We got a little note here. We'll keep that over there for right now. We got a little note here. It says, Gary, thank you for your continued support. We pray, return favor threefold from God and a home filled with joy. Happy Stacking, the Mad Crew. And I don't know if his wife writes that or he does, but I'm going to tell you what. You got some really nice writing, dude. Or ma'am, I'm not sure which. But that'll go in my... Oh, can't do that. That'll go in my Mark Twain cigar box with all of my other little notes that I get from people. I like to keep handwritten notes. Those will probably go in a book someday also, along with stickers. So anyway, we got that. We do have, there's one coin in there, I know that. So let's get that looked at. Paper. And he's got it in there too, so we're going to throw that paper away. We don't need that. Let's see. We're going to open this up like this. This is number... He's got everything pretty well inventoried, I think. You see all the numbers he's got on there? I think he's got everything pretty well inventoried. Yes, we have a Canadian maple with a maple privy, but it's on the left side of the coin, of the stem. Boy, that's a pretty one. That's really pretty. That's a what, 2017? Let's look here. Yep, that's a 2017. And you see what I mean? Right here, the maple privy's over on this side of the coin, or on this side of the stem, instead of being on the other side. I've noticed that about some of these maples. Maple privies are moving. I don't know if that's a security feature or what, or if that's just a separate privy. Because I have to look, I have to get my old eyes out here and look, but it says under that maple privy, it says Canada 150. So what does that mean? I don't know. That's an 1867 to 2017. And the leaf is a little bit different. So that'll go in with my privy coins. Yeah, that'll go in with my privy coins there. That's not a bad looking coin, man. I'm telling you what. That's a pretty good looking coin. All right. Let's get a stand up here. Where are we at? Over here. We'll bring some stands up here. We'll put that. We don't want to look at her. We'll turn that around like that. All right. Nice. That one's real nice. And then I got this, I'm sure there's a clamshell in here. I am sure of it. I don't know what it is anymore, but I am sure that there's a clamshell in there. We got it wrapped up pretty good, though. I appreciate people who wrap up stuff really well. Which one this is, I do not know. Ooh. came out of its little capsule, though. The capsule is not the most secure. But that's what that looks like. But this is what the coin looks like. That's that eagle, that Canadian eagle with the fish and the water background. That's a 2014. That's kind of cool. I thought it was cool when I saw it anyway. And it's not a full ounce, but it is 80%, I believe. That's where my old eyes go. Here they are. Got the initials of the designer on CD. Look around this side here. That's an older queen there with the pearl necklace on. And the initials of the artist on that one, or the engraver. That, my friends, is a nice looking coin. I didn't have that one either, so I'm glad I got that. See, that's an older queen. Not a young queen, not a real old queen, but an older queen, like in her 60s, 70s, 60s maybe. So, yeah. That, there's a couple I didn't have in my little collection. Mad had found them. So, yeah, that's kind of neat, man. We'll put that in. There's really no COA with it or anything, but I do have a nice clamshell. And I must admit that the Canadian Mint, when they do their little special coins like that, really do have nice presentation. That's what I like about the Canadian Mint. Always have. That's why I collect Canadian coins. The diversity and how well they are put together. So, yeah. And the one thing about MAD is that when you win something or buy something from him, that thing is shipped like the same day. I just really am amazed at how quickly he gets things in the mail. He's really good about that. I wonder if I can prop that up a little bit for you. Yeah, that looks a little better. Cool, man. I don't know. Maybe my wife needs a little Jesus again. All right. Let's go back up here to my ugly mug. Hi, Mrs. Coin Crew. You see that? You see that stuff? That's the kind of stuff I look for all the time. That's the kind of stuff I look for all the time. And you guys being up there in Muskegon, you should get probably more of this stuff. I've looked on your site. I bought a couple of things, that I haven't had from the site. But generally, I don't see that you have a lot of Canadian. You got some. And that one set, I really did appreciate the hell out of that. That thing was beautiful, I thought. But here, let me take it back over here. We can go a little closer if we have to here. I can do that with the remote too. I don't have to move the camera all the time. I can do this with the remote. I can switch it over there. Or I can switch it back. And see, if I go like this, I don't know what I'm doing. But if I go like this, see, it's over here. I know what I'm doing there. And that's more realistic. But let me see. Can I go closer? Where's my... Right there. Yeah, I can go closer. I'm not really sure you want to look at my ugly face that close, but let's go back. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. We want to do this. Yeah, there we go. All right. Back that way. We can do the close-up stuff on coins, but the camera is a lot better. I can show detail on coins now close up that I didn't used to be able to do before. And I think that's why a lot of people didn't get in races when I was in them, because I think that yeah, I know you don't need to see my nose there. I want to see how you handle Sunday. That's what I want to see. And see, the thing is, if I keep the camera right here so I can read chat, then the camera's in the way of chat. So then what I'll do is I will move it. Say we'll go here, and then that way I can read. That way I can read chat, but then it's in the way of my monitor. So 6 of one, half does the other. Doesn't make a damn bit of difference. There are, and it doesn't matter to you guys, but there are a couple of channels on YouTube that I follow: Valhalla VFT and some of the SEAL channels, Navy SEAL channels. I watch, like Sean Ryan and maybe one of the other ones, but the SEAL community is a piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. Most of them, not all of them, most of them. We have the Ranger community, of which Matt Best and some of his friends are Ranger community, and I really like the content that they put out a lot. A little bit too commercial as far as Black Rifle goes, but then there's the Green Beret community. Valhalla VFT is one of the guys I follow, and Redonkulous.com, another one of the guys I follow, because Redonkulous, Terrence Pop, is one of the guys I served with in the 12 Special Forces group. And I tell people this all the time. I was in B Company 1st Battalion in Illinois, and he was in Charlie Company 1st Battalion in Michigan. And I think I did one operation with his team. My team did one operation with his team in Michigan. And so I watch him too. Oh yeah, the Hodge twins, Hodge brothers. Yeah, I watch him too. They're good at times. I like them. And if you really like subtle humor, Babylon Bee is good. But yeah, there are all kinds of things you can watch out there. But man, there are just some cringe people out there in every community. And I was watching Valhalla VFT this morning, and man, he had a lieutenant colonel on, and he was doing TikTok videos in uniform, but his uniform was not correct. He had a green beret on his head, but his flash is wrong. He didn't have a CIB or an EIB. He didn't have any jump wings at all. No static line jump wings. He didn't have a airborne tab under his Special Forces tab on his shoulder. So I'm thinking he's probably not even in the military, but that really looks bad. And then the other one that really stinks is General Milley under Biden. Milley had the Tower of Power. He had the Airborne Ranger and Special Forces tab. And no doubt he went through those courses. However, they should have pulled his tabs. And they have pulled tabs off of people for less things. But they should have pulled his tabs. The Ranger Regiment and the Special Forces Regiment should have pulled his tabs. They didn't do it. Hopefully they'll do it after he retired. I don't know if they will or not. Maybe they'll just let him go because he's a general. A piece of shit's what he was. Yes, your dad has jump wing tattoo. And what unit was your dad in? 82nd, 101st, 173rd. There are other ones I could name, but I don't think of them right now. Yes, I have it's upside down, but an airborne all the way, HEW tattoo also. I don't have the wings. I don't have my wings tattooed on. I should probably. Yeah, you know what? I'll tattoo those on one of these days. Because I do have my Dio Presso Lieber upside down, but yeah, I got that one on there. Cross arrows and knife. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am a master parachutist, which means I went through the jump master course. I had so many night combat equipment jumps, daytime combat equipment jumps, what do you call them, fun jumps, but without equipment, tactical jumps, yeah. So you have to have so many of each. Go through the jump master course, and then you have to have so many jumps experience before you become a senior parachutist. When you go through the jump master course, then you become a master parachutist. When you get so many in number, I have 107 static line jumps, which is nowhere near somebody who have, say, a 20-year career in the 82nd probably has 350, 400 jumps. But I do have 107. So I'm in the triple digit club. And yeah, I'll probably get them tattooed on one of these days. A drunken heart on your butt. Did you do that when you were drunk, or is it just a drunken looking heart? Tattoo artist might have been drunk. Hey, I don't know. You were drunk. Yeah, I kind of thought so. You know, I'll bet you that's how. I'm going to bet you that's about how, back in the day anyway, 80%, 90% of people got their tattoos. They got drunk one night, they got a hair up their ass, they went out and got a tattoo. Maybe a cringe tattoo too. I don't know. Nowadays, tattooing is more of an art form, and you see people with a lot of sleeves and complete sleeves and backs and heads and whatever. Yeah, back in the day, probably 50s, 60s, the only people who had tattoos were sailors. And then the Marines started, and then the Army guys, and yeah, so. Anyway, that's what that is. The only thing I wanted to talk about was that. So I don't have anything really to talk about. Oh, I do have a new sticker, though. I want to put this up on my stage. This is kind of a farm safety sticker. Oh, I'm going to have to turn that around, ain't I? I don't know. Is this it? No, that's not it. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. Farm Safety for Kids program. So I'm just going to put the Danger Never Play Here up on my table. Along with my little baby Jesus. He can sit on my chest. I think little Jesus can sit on my chest on the table. I want to know why Jesus is always painted as or depicted as a white guy. You know, he was a Jew from the Middle East, right? So he would have olive brown skin, probably have Arabic heritage or Mediterranean heritage. More than likely Arabic heritage. And he would have been olive brown, probably really brown, living in the Middle East. But hey, you know, I'm not. Oh, you went and got drunk with your aunt, and your aunt got a strawberry. And what was that supposed to represent? I get tattoos because they mean something to me and maybe to other people. I don't get a lot of picture tattoos. I get a lot of words. Why? Because words are a more direct message. Words are not as open to interpretation as pictures are. So that's why I get, and I don't do color. If you notice, I don't do any color. I don't do any color. All I do is words. And everything is black. It's black ink. It turns blue, but it's black ink. So, yeah, I got to get a hold of my tattoo artist and make an appointment. I got a few tattoos I would like to get before I die. You know, and the thing is, I don't spend a lot of money on tattoos because when I die, and I'm 69 this year, I figure I got about 20 years before I die, and I'm going to be cremated. So all those tattoos go up in smoke. So you enjoy them while you are alive, but you're spending money you could be spending on something else like silver or gold or whatever. I was talking to Kiwi last night and I said, you know, and he was showing us tattoos that are all over his upper body. Um, I said, I made the comment, you know, that amount of tattoos here would cost me more than my truck cost me. And he said, how much did your truck cost you? I said, oh, I think about $13,000 or $14,000. I buy used trucks. I don't buy new shit. And he said, keep going up. Well, I'm not going to spend that kind of money on tattoos. I'll spend that kind of money on something else, like property or assets, because those tattoos are not assets. They're not property. They don't go up in value. They don't produce any income. So, and that's just my thought on tattoos. Do I like them? Yes, I do like them. Do I consider them an art form? Yes, I do. Some tattoo artists are exactly that, artists. Back in the day, not so much. But anybody that can do tattoos freehand, they amaze me. They amaze me. Most tattoo artists, you know, will have a computer. They'll look up you give them an idea. They'll look it up on the internet. They got a printer that prints them off a transfer. and they will put that on your skin, that transfer, peel the paper off, and that transfer's still there. So all they have to do is just follow the lines. Well, okay, some of those tattoos look really good, but that's not what I consider an artist. That's just somebody who can color. That was good with their coloring books. Yeah, Ink Masters was good. I watched a few of their things, but it's kind of dry. So I I consider the guys or gals that can do freehand drawing on your skin and make it look really. I mean, like they're painting on a canvas. Those are the people I consider artists. Anyway, that's what's going to happen. It's going to get burned up when I die, so there's no sense spending a whole lot of money on it. Um, while you're alive, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, of course. But yeah, that's tattoos, man. What are I'm going back up in the chat and reading that. What are the horoscope channels? Or you mean the horoscope channels? Ah, that might make more sense. And what do the horoscope channels tell you? What your horoscope for the day is? I don't believe in horoscopes. Don't believe in tarot cards. Don't believe in any of that crap. Sorry, I don't. I don't believe most organized religions. And the key word there is organized religions. Organized religions are nothing but a form of population control. That's what they are. And a way to get money from you. Well, I even, at one time, I even explored that avenue. I did go to a coven meeting at one time, but I soon discovered that it was a bunch of shit. Also, so you don't have to be a Wiccan to connect with nature. If you're a hunter, a trapper, a fisherman, a bird watcher, anyone who enjoys the outdoors and realizes that all life is connected and that animals have more awareness than you think they do, then you're connecting with nature. So, yeah, you don't have to be a Wiccan and believe in witchcraft to connect with nature. And when you're old enough, you do realize that all life is nothing more than energy. All life is energy. And energy is neither created or destroyed, it just changes form. So, and I think we've discussed this before, my theory on how the universe was created from the Big Bang, and it was a Big Bang, but it was because energy had been compressing to the point where you couldn't get any more energy into that confined space and it had to go somewhere, so it exploded outward. The universe is still expanding. That's what scientists tell us. All right. Well, how long did that take? And they'll tell us amount of time and blah, blah, blah. The universe is still expanding. So that means that more energy is being not created, but changing form. It's expanding and creating galaxies and black holes and all this stuff in our universe. And animals and plants and insects and everything being born. There's more energy being put into the universe than being taken out of this space. Universe is a space. Okay. So there's more energy being put into or expanding in this space than contracting in this space. And you know that because time is still running forward. You still age from young to old. If the universe was starting to contract again, then you would start out as an old person and regress to your initial stages of sperm and egg. You would see time running backwards. You would see people walking backwards. You would see everything backwards. That makes sense to you? That way you would know that the universe is contracting again and that all that energy is starting to be compressed back down into that little bitty speck that could no longer contain any more energy. And then it would happen all over again. And how many times has that happened? And are we the only universe, or are there parallel universes where every outcome, so every decision you ever make has an outcome, right? Every decision. Let's just say that there are universes or dimensions where all of those outcomes are happening at the same time. You just happen to be in this one. So where do you go when you die? Well, your energy, so you're not going to be destroyed. You are going to go back into the cosmic, I call it the cosmic battery, into that that energy that is either expanding or compressing. Are you going to go and be reincarnated? Possible. It's possible. It's possible. I believe in reincarnation. But how long will it take you to be reincarnated? A time element. Well, when you're energy and you're in the contracting, constricting mode of energy, when you're in the big battery, as I call it, of the universe, how long? Time is no matter. There's no concept of time when you're there. Time is a man-made construct. There's no time. It takes as long as it takes, and that's it. So you may come back 1,000 years from now on a different planet in a different galaxy. I yeah, you're a squirrel in an alternate universe. You know what? You may be reincarnated as a squirrel, and you may come back in the timeline of 200 years ago, and as a squirrel, you'll be shot and put in a stew pot, Or you could come back as a squirrel in a different timeline and live a happy, healthy life, raising little babies and burying your nuts in the ground. And there are all kinds of possibilities. You may come back as a what? Let's just say you come back as a small gray in a timeline that's 10,000 years from now. Maybe the small grays will be extinct by then. Who knows? I don't know. Humans might be extinct by then. Or you come back in an alternate dimension, which is if you made one other, let's say, okay, you didn't marry Keith. Let's say you didn't. You made that decision at that time. What would your life be like today? Well, that might be an alternate universe or an alternate dimension for you. You come back in an alternate dimension or an alternate timeline, or yeah. Or you could just stay in that big battery and become part of that energy that compresses and compresses so small that it's released. Your energy will be released with all the rest of the energy in the universe. Again, you might become a planet or a galaxy or a black hole. You could become anything. Back in California, well, my stepdad's brother Al married a gal from Austin, Minnesota. They're from Iowa, and Austin, Minnesota is like 30 miles away. And he married a gal from up there. They moved to California, had 3 daughters. He was a truck driver, and I don't know what Pat did, but Pat was his wife. One of the best human beings that ever lived, and they had 3 girls. Well, the oldest one, Lori, she is now deceased. Lisa is living with her husband, Gary, in Romania, Bulgaria, or Lithuania, or someplace over there. And Lynn moved back to Austin, Minnesota after she was divorced with her 2 boys, and one went in the Navy. I'm not sure if the other one did or not, but I have to ask her. But she's back home again. So it took 2 generations, and she's right back where her mom and dad came from. So, could be. No, your anus, not my anus. How do you know in another timeline that there are 9 planets? There could be 29. There could be civilizations on 20 of them. You don't know. A cult like, what kind of a cult? What kind of a cult like operation are we talking about? Scientology? That's a cult. Cult like cult. I don't know. Depends. You don't hear a whole lot of talk about cults since the bonehead down in South America and his cult drank their goofy juice and they all died. Who was that? You haven't heard too much about cults since then. Or Waco, or that cult could have been disbanded, and that could have been settled in a lot less destructive manner, and that bitch should be in prison for murder, but along with those agents that raided that compound. But just my opinion. Yep, don't accept Kool-Aid from strangers. That is correct. Well, I think when we hit an hour here, we're just going to call this good, and I'll start looking through these goddamn nickels again. Holy shit. What should I be looking for, Mrs. Coin Crew, in these beaver nickels? I know I should be looking for the V5 nickels. I should be looking for a 1926 or 24. We had that little bitty maple leaf down there on the dot underneath the date. Um, 1962. I have to look it up again, but there's only like 5 or so nickels I should be looking for. But my God, I got a lot of nickels to go through. Holy crap, man. Plus that, whatever I got sitting on the desk here, plus that ammo can full of them. Good God. That's a lot of looking. That's a lot of looking. I already went through the pennies. I got the pennies out of there I wanted. But I don't know what I should keep as far as nickels go. Yeah, being on a computer causes hallucinations. I'm going to have to go outside and, I got to take the cover off the wellhead and get that put away. I got to get skid loader out because I got to take a air compressor from this shed up here down to my other shed where the welders are at. I have a hole in the bottom of the tank, so I got to test the bottom of the tank and see how solid it is. You know, if you don't, on air compressors, if you don't release the compressed air out of the tank every day when you're done using it, moisture will form in there, and it will rust from the inside out, and you will get a weak bottom because that's where the water settles, and usually in one spot. Sometimes you can weld them, sometimes you can't. I had one 60-gallon air compressor, a vertical one. I bought used for $100, and it served me well for, God, I don't know, 5, 6 years. And then I got a hole in the bottom. Okay, well, it was already weak, and we tested it. You know, you do a tap test on it. And we found a couple spots where it was weak, and I had my buddy weld it because he can weld that thin stuff really well. And it lasted me another, what, 15, 16 years? And then the bottom blew out again, and I went to tap test it, and it was, it had completely gone, one whole seam. So I shit canned that. I took the compressor and the motor off, and I had a guy get me another one, but it's a 50-gallon. So I put the same compressor and motor on it, and that one is sitting in my shed now, and I'm using that one for the big stuff I got to do with air tools and stuff. I have a newer, smaller one inside my shop. I have another one up in the garage for my wife, and then I have this one that sits in this other shed out here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 air compressors. Anyway, it's hard to keep up with the maintenance on all this stuff, but this one has a hole, but the hole, because it was sitting kind of at an angle like this, and that's where my valve was at, but it rusted just ahead of the valve a little bit, and right on the seam where the end is welded on to that tube. So you got those two ends that are welded on all the way around to that tube. It's right on that seam, so I think that little hole can be welded. But I have to take the oil out of the compressor. I have to unhook the electric. I have to take it down to the shed where my other or my welders are at, and all that takes time to get done. So I'll get that done, but so then I'll have air up in this shed again. And it's not a big air compressor by any means. I think it's only like 30, 35 gallons. And it's only got a one piston compressor on. So it takes forever to compress air, but it's an air compressor. So it's not a big deal. And that's a piston driven. The one in the garage is a piston driven. The big one down in the shed and the other shed's a piston driven. And the one I got in my shop is one of those other ones that has the spinner motors on, spinner compressors. Anyway, that's the newest one. And the other 1, 2, 3, 4 are older piston driven compressors. So they work, they don't work, whatever. All right, very good. I'm going to end this, see what's on, and then I'm probably going to go outside. All right, see y'all later. Take it easy.